Hi, good morning. How are you all? Fine? Very good. We are all forgetful at times and would like to find ways improving our memories, not only in reading but in practical lives. We are often forgetful. For example, we forget to switch off the lights after using toilets and bathrooms, forgetting to close the windows or doors when going out from our home, and taking tablets before or after lunch, etc. This is what the author of the third prose from your 11th English, Robert Lynd, says in his prose titled Forgetting. Dear students, let us take this topic, forgetting, from the unit 3 in this session of part 1 and see what the author Robert Lynd says more about forgetting. Shall we move? Okay. Sometimes instances of forgetfulness may land us in a tight spot or in a difficult situation. So, we need to find ways to remember what we have to do or carry with us. One way is to take a mental checklist that we can verify before starting any activity. And you can discuss with your partner and think of some practical ideas to overcome forgetfulness. Now, let me ask you a question. Is a forgetfulness a result of carelessness or preoccupation? Preoccupation. That means a state of thinking about something continuously, something that you think about frequently or for a long time. The synonymous word for this preoccupation is obsession. That is, the state in which a person's mind is completely filled with the thoughts of one particular thing. Let me give the answer for the question which I asked. Forgetfulness is a result of inattentive, low level attention, giving importance to a particular event, paying more attention to any particular aim, and mental depression. Some people are more imaginative and completely distracted from the real routine life. Sometimes we may not be involved in a particular object which may cause boredom. As a result, it will lead to forgetting many things. Students many times forget because of their inability to understand, disinterest in the subject, non availability of guidance, and clearing their doubts. Avoidance and negligence are also the reason for forgetfulness. Carelessness leads to forgetfulness, for proper habit is not inculcated in the home by parents. Young students often involve in chatting on cinema or cricket, which will lead to forget many important things to do on the particular day. Proper guidance should be given in the school and by parents. Parents should be given counseling in the schools and to create awareness about their child's talents and opportunities available in higher education and job opportunities too. Okay, now let us read this humorous essay and know Robert Lynd's analysis of the fundamental and basic reasons for forgetfulness in humans. Dear students, while I am reading out the textual paragraphs, they will be displayed as an image. After that, the hints of that paragraphs will be displayed on the board. When I explain those hints, you can get the meaning of the paragraphs. The first paragraph starts thus. A list of articles lost by railway travellers and now on sale at a great London station has been published, and many people who read it have been astonished at the absent mindedness of their fellows. if statistical records were available on the subject. However, I doubt whether it would be found that absent-mindedness is common. It is the efficiency rather than the inefficiency of human memory that compels my wonder. Modern man remembers even telephone numbers. He remembers the addresses of his friends. He remembers the dates of good vintages. Let me explain the first paragraph. The important points are on the blackboard. Many articles lost by the railway travellers are put on sale at a great London station. Many people who read this have been astonished, that is, surprised at the absent-mindedness of their fellow humans. They are really surprised that how forgetful their human, that is, their fellow humans are. Here, the term I refers to the author of this prose, Robert Lynd. Robert Lynd doubts whether absent-mindedness is common because he wishes that the statistical records were available on the subject. He wonders about the efficiency of human memory instead of inefficiency, because efficiency rather than the inefficiency of human memory compels his wonder. He also wonders that modern man remembers many things, especially he can remember even telephone numbers, and he can remember the addresses of his friends, relatives and neighbors, and he also remembers the dates of good vintages. Vintage means wine of high quality produced in a particular year. He remembers appointments for lunch and dinner. His memory is crowded with the names of actors and actresses and cricketers and footballers and murderers. He can tell you what the weather was like in a long past August and the name of the provincial hotel at which he had a wild meal during the summer. In his ordinary life, again, he remembers almost everything that he is expected to remember. How many men in all London forget a single item of their clothing when dressing in the morning? Not 1 in 100, perhaps not 1 in 10,000. How many of them forget to shut the front door when leaving the house? Scarcely more. And so it goes on through the day almost every day, remembering to do the right things at the right moment till it is time to go to bed. And then the ordinary man seldom forgets to turn off the lights before going upstairs. He refers to a modern man. A modern man also remembers appointments for lunch and dinner, the names of actors, actresses, cricketers, footballers and murderers. He never forgets the date when his or her friend gives him a party. He can tell how the weather was in the last August and the name of the hotel in which he had a nasty meal during the summer. Provincial means connected with one of the large areas that some countries are divided into with its own local government. Nasty means very bad or unpleasant. So he could remember the weather in the past and the names of a hotel. Thus, a modern man can remember almost everything in his life. The author asks a question: how many men in all London forget a single item of their clothing when dressing in the morning? Does anyone in London forget to wear clothing? Nobody. In all over London, nobody ever forgets a single item of his clothing when dressing. He himself gives us the answer. Most likely, not 1 in 10,000. Similarly, he asks another question: how many of them forget to shut the front door when leaving the house? Again, he says the answer for his own question. The answer is scarcely more. Scarcely means only just or almost not. Thus, he says that nobody forgets to shut the front door when leaving the house. Everybody remembers to do right things at the right moment. Even the ordinary man never forgets to turn off the lights before going to bed. There are, it must be admitted, some matters in regard to which the memory works with less than its usual perfection. It is only a very methodical man, I imagine, who can always remember to take the medicine his doctor has prescribed for him. This is the more surprising because medicine should be one of the easiest things to remember. As a rule, it is supposed to be taken before, during, or after meals, and the meal itself should be a reminder of it. The fact remains, however, that few but the moral giants remember to take their medicine regularly. Certain psychologists tell us that we forget things because we wish to forget them, and it may be that it is because of their antipathy to pills and potions that many people fail to remember them at the appointed hours. The author says that in some matters human memory works less than its usual perfection, and we must accept this. First of all, this should be admitted. He says only a very methodical man. Methodical means systematic. He says that only a systematic man can always remember to take the prescribed medicines. He says that the easiest thing to be remembered is medicine. That is, medicine should be one of the easiest things to remember because the medicine is usually taken before or after or during meals. Here, the meals itself is the reminder. Here, the author uses the term moral giants. It means one who strictly follows each and every rule like an orthodox family member. So, he says only a few. That is, these kinds of moral giants remember to take their medicine regularly. At last, the author gives us a true statement. That is, some psychologists say that we forget things because we wish to, that is, we want to forget them. Many people fail to remember the correct time to take the medicine because they dislike the tablets and the tonic. They never want to take any tablets or pills. This does not explain, however, how it is that a lifelong devotee of medicines like myself is as forgetful of them as those who take them most unwillingly. The very prospect of a new and widely advertised cure all delights me. Yet, even if I have the stuff in my pockets, I forget about it as soon as the hour approaches at which I ought to swallow it. Chemists make their fortunes out of the medicines people forget to take. The author tells that though he is a lifelong devotee of medicines, he is a forgetful man. A new and widely advertised cure all medicine delights the author. The word cure all means something that people believe can cure any problem or any disease. The synonymous word for this word cure all is panacea. That is something that will solve all the problems of a particular situation. The synonymous word for cure all is panacea. The author says that many advertising programs show and assure that their tablets, pills, and tonic, even any ointment for wounds, are the cure all medicines. These advertising programs delight the author. That is, these advertising programs make the author feel happy. So, the author has become a lifelong devotee of medicines. At the same time, even if the author has the stuff, that is medicine, in his own pockets, he forgets about it as soon as the hour approaches at which he has to swallow it. That means, even though the author has the medicine in his pocket, he forgets to take it at the correct time. He humorously remarks that chemists make a lot of money. You know, if any doctor prescribes you some 4 or 5 tablets, surely you will not take all those tablets. Maximum of them will be thrown to dustbins. If you analyze this point, you will understand what the author says. We are wasting money when we buy medicines more than enough. But the chemist, that is druggist, who are the owners of these manufacturing companies, are becoming rich when they sell these medicines to us. That is why the author says that chemists make their fortunes out of the medicines people forget to take. It is because people forget to take medicines and therefore their illness is not cured, and so they have to buy more and more medicines. The commonest form of forgetfulness, I suppose, occurs in the matter of posting letters. So common is it that I am always reluctant to trust a departing visitor to post an important letter. So little do I rely on his memory that I put him on his oath before handing the letter to him. As for myself, anyone who asks me to post a letter is a poor judge of character. Even if I carry the letter in my hand, I am always past the first pillar box before I remember that I ought to have posted it. Weary of holding it in my hand, I then put it for safety into one of my pockets and forget all about it. After that, it has an unadventurous life till a long chain of circumstances leads to a number of embarrassing questions being asked, and I am compelled to produce the evidence of my guilt from my pocket. This, it might be thought, must be due to a lack of interest in other people's letters, but that cannot be the explanation, for I forget to post some even of the few letters that I myself remember to write. According to the author, The commonest form of forgetfulness is in posting letters. He is always unwilling to trust an outgoing visitor to post an important letter. So, before handing a letter to a visitor, the author gets his assurance, as the author trusts not much on his visitor's memory. If anyone asks the author to post a letter, then that person is a poor judge of character. Even the author carries the letter in his hand, he will cross the pillar box, that is post box, and forgets to post it. Sometimes he gets tired to hold it in his hand, so he puts it for safety in one of his pockets and forgets all about it. The letter which is not posted leads an unadventurous life. At home, he faces embarrassing questions. Embarrassing means making you feel shy, awkward, or ashamed. When the author was asked whether he had posted the letter or not, he feels ashamed because he has to take the forgotten letter which he has in his pocket and show it to the person who had asked him to post. That letter might have been posted when the author had crossed the first post box, but he forgot. So the author feels shy and awkward. This, it might be bought, must be due to lack of interest in others' letters. But that cannot be the explanation. That is, lack of interest in others' letters is not the mere reason for his forgetting to post others' letters, because he has forgotten to post some of his own letters too. Dear students, thus the author says continuously about forgetting. So, here we must give a pause. There are a lot to be discussed about forgetting. So, let us not forget to meet in the next session in part 2. Until then, take care. This is Nageswaran, Department of English, Adarsh Vidyalaya Higher Secondary School, Andiur. Bye bye.